Hey friends, welcome back to Mehndi Love. In this video, you're gonna know how to store your henna cones, sealants, balms and oils fresh. And also subscribe to my channel and click the bell button below, and also follow me on my Instagram page Mehndi Love for more informations like this. It is really important that you store your henna cones properly, because if you haven't stored them properly, you are not going to get any stains from your henna cones. So there is two kind of storage, one is short term and the other is long term. Imagine that you have made your cones today and going to do your henna work today, tomorrow or day after tomorrow, then it is really good to store them in the fridge and it will be safe there for 2 or 3 days. And after that, if you want to keep them back, then never keep them in a fridge. If you are going to do your henna works only after a month or something, then keep them in freezer. You should not put the cones outside, because there is a faster dye release if you're going to put them outside and you are going to get a really damaged cones. And this is how I used to pack my cones for storing in freezer, and you can either do it like this or you can use ziplock pouches for storing your cones airtight. The first thing I used to do is I used to give label to my cone. That is, I used to write the date in which I placed this thing in the fridge or the time when I bought this thing to my home, because I need to know which is the cone I placed first and which is the last one, so I can use them accordingly. And it is really very bad to keep them more than 6 months. Till 6 months it will be all right and it could be freeze there, but after 6 months it's really bad to keep them in freezer, because there is a really good chance for them to lose its stain quality and consistency. And so I used to keep them only for 6 months, and this is how I used to pack my cones. And make sure that your cone's tip is not bended by placing them in this wrapper, and make sure that there is a small cello tape covering the tip of the cone so that no content goes inside the cone and it is really fresh. And if you're going for a local bridal works and you want to keep your cones fresh, but there is no way that you can keep them in freezer while traveling, then don't worry, there is a method. Keep these cones in bubble wrappers and take them as such from your freezer with that freezing and chilling and everything, and keep them in this bubble wrap. Cover them properly, keep it in your bag like that. And as soon as you reach that place, and if there is some kind of delay before your bridal work, make sure that you are going to freeze them again, and only you are going to take them at the time of your bridal work. Now you may be thinking, how can I use this immediately from the freezer? It would be so hard. Then the answer is, keep them inside your palm like this for around 5 to 6 minutes, because your hand temperature will help the paste to melt and come in with the correct consistency. And it hardly takes only 5 or 6 minutes for the paste to melt. And if you're working in an environment in which you are sitting in a place and the outside environment is colder or hotter than your body temperature, then there is a huge chance for the cones to clog. So you have to take two cones with you so that you can switch between the cones, and it would be very easy for your bridal works. Most probably the next doubt for you will be, how do the sellers who sell their cones internationally, nationally, district wise and all keep their cones in this fresh state? And the secret for this is that you have to pack your cones and keep them in the freezer and make them frozen, and immediately keep them in this kind of cardboard box with all the plasters airtight, and keep them in bubble wraps, and this can preserve some amount of coolness inside that box. And ask your customer to immediately keep their cones inside the freezer when they get your cones at their place. This is the condition of my cone, which was left outside for around 4 to 3 weeks in room temperature. And actually I have forgot that there is a cone like this in my shelf, and When I was about to film this video, I thought that, oh, there is a cone in my box, and I took it out, and it is really smelly, it is really stingy, and it really lost all its consistency. And see, you can see here that the oil is also coming out, and this will be the condition if you are going to store your cones outside the freezer. And so that's why we always say keep this in your freezer. I know what you're thinking right now. When you walk into some stores, there may be lots and lots of henna cones arranged inside the shelf in room temperature, not even freezed, but they give you nice stain, right? It's because it contains lots and lots of chemicals and preservatives, and as a doctor I would never ever recommend you all those things, and that's the reason why these cones are really cloggy and gives you running consistency than your normal consistency, and it is really harm for your skin, so stay away from them. Now we can look into the case of the henna powders need for making henna cones, and they should be kept inside a ziplock pouch because if they come in contact with air and all, they form clumps and it will be really hard for making henna cones. The next one is essential oils. They should be kept inside a amber glass bottle because essential oils used to react with sunlight, and also they used to react with the plastic bottles and get damaged easily. So make sure that your dealer is selling them inside a amber glass bottles and store it in a cool dry place as said by your dealer. The next one is henna aftercare sealant, and they have to be kept inside the freezer because they contains many natural ingredients, and if you're gonna keep them outside they'll get destroyed in a day or so. So they have to be kept inside the freezer and can be stored for around 3 to 4 months. Henna aftercare oil also should be kept outside and not inside a fridge, and they can stay like that for around 3 to 4 months. Henna aftercare balm should surely be kept inside the fridge, otherwise it would surely get destroyed. So this is my video, so share your comments in the comment box below, and I am really looking forward into reading your comments. So subscribe to my channel. Bye, see you in the next video.